There's no strength right now. I don't got no strength either. Out of pistachios over here. There ain't one pistachio left on these trees. I'm only getting one bar, so I don't know if it's coming out or not. Checking the signal here. I don't know why. Just over on that side it was perfect. I guess something it's close to the military base or something. Because I heard some. Yeah. Is that aircraft? Yeah, that's military aircraft. That's probably why. Close to the base. So let me see here. Yeah, there might not be any signal. You hear that? What the hell is that? I think that's the machine out here. Okay, so might have to do one later because I'm showing there's no signal strength at all. So I got a Red Bull going on here. Wow, it's actually getting through. It's a weak signal. Weak as all get out. Oh man, had those lights turned on. So, had a pizza this morning. I mean, just right now for lunch. It was jalapeno, pepperoni, mushroom, and pineapple. And it was okay, kind of. I guess kind of like a combination pizza with pineapple and jalapenos. I don't know if you've ever had pizza with ranch dressing. There's a pizza place over here in Kalinga. It's called Fatty Albert's Pizza. And they always serve ranch dressing with their pizza. It's not the greatest, but it's not that bad. There used to be this one place that really, their pizza was freaking great. So it looks like the signal's coming out okay. I'm watching it here, and so I don't know what's going on with it. I don't know if it's cutting out, but the video looks blurred, so there's no real reason to keep making the video if it's only got one bar. The video looks really... Maybe it's because I'm next to these trees. Did you know that pistachio trees look like apple trees? They must be a close cousin or something. Okay, so how many of you here watch sports? Raise your hand. Notice I'm not raising. I don't watch sports. I mean, I used to play sports in high school, and I think in junior high. No, not junior high. High school. That's when we used to play tennis, and that was pretty cool. And I remember one girl that used to play tennis with us. And one day this big old dude just picked her up, started carrying her. He looked like a freaking giant, and she was small. He just picked her up and he's carrying her all over the place. That's when we were playing. I think it was either soccer. Yeah, I think that was soccer. But we used to play tennis in high school, and that's a really good um, sport. Uh, I bought myself a couple tennis rackets, bought the balls, and had them in my car, but I could never get anyone to play. How crazy is that? So I see some people in the comments just came in. Are you serious? Chezik? Where in the heck is Chezik? Is that right next to Romania? Um, I don't remember seeing any Chezik country. Do you guys have David Icke banned from your country? Because he's banned from 30 European countries. But I was thinking right now, I wanted to talk to you about sport. Okay, because I've always been a staunch against sports. Okay, as far as, watching them on TV. Doing sports, absolutely, I'm for wellness. But I've always been a staunch against, the Super Bowl and stuff like that. But before I talk about that, I want to talk about some observations on life. Yesterday I started talking about um, reincarnation. And, well, today I've got another thing to talk about is, um, have you noticed how fast the time is going by? Just sitting here, you can see the sun is just moving just so fast. I have to keep moving because the shade keeps moving. And well, sometimes we just like to say, just go to sleep, right? Take a nap. And sometimes it gets to the point to where life gets so confusing that you can't even relax, right? A lot of people are going through this. A lot of people are on the verge of homelessness, okay? But and drinking doesn't help it. Sedatives, that just, when you come to, it's just, that much that you've missed. And really it comes to that, seize the moment, right? So who is messing it up for everybody? I say it's the freaking reptilian shapeshifters. But anyway, I also want to talk about this thing that's going on with this Charlie. Okay? And but before I do that, let me say something about the sports. I've always been staunch critic of this sport thing. And I remember there was this one dude who he knew everything about sports. He was pretty smart. And he knew everything about sports, right? He could tell you, the Super Bowl and how much this is and how much in this and that. One time he told me how much the lighting, just the lights for the Super Bowl cost, and I was like, no way. This is, you know. But anyhow, he knew everything about sports, and and so now, 50 years later, I realize that yes, sports does have something good to it. It has to it. It tells you, your maximum of what you can do for your age, right? Physically. How a 30-year-old can outperform a, 25-year-old. They've got all that figured out. They know response time, mental this and all these different things that tell you your abilities for your age. Because for a lot of us, by the time you start figuring it out, you know, and I guess some people just don't pay attention. Like I wasn't paying attention. But yeah, they've got the whole thing figured out. So there is something good about it. And so anyhow, now back to the because it lets you know all these crappy things that come with old age. As you get older, you can't do the same things, right? Your hearing, your vision, your memory, and your physical ability. When you're younger, you can push your body to the limits and it recovers, but when you're older, it's, and people don't really talk about it, or at least I haven't heard anybody talking about it. But now to this thing about social, what's going on socially. I told you about that channel that just came on that I saw out of Oklahoma. It had three people on it, and and these people come out, and the guy says, "Yeah, good old Charlie, good old, he's a hero." Basically, that's basically what he's saying, a hero, and we need more people like that. And I'm just like, dude, no way, right? I'm like, I don't know where you people are coming from, right? And and so now you look at the other channels, right? Like Willie D Live. These people are celebrating. Yeah, like ding dong, witch is gone, the wicked witch is gone, right? So you have two completely, here in the United States, you have two completely different, I mean, and I was thinking about it, and I'm like, I don't know where you're coming from, and I can understand why these are the way they are from all the crap these people did to them. But I'm sitting here thinking, I'm saying, you know what? It's because it's a fight between them. We're not in it, right? We're not in the fight. There's a fight between these two groups. And so anyway, that's the observations I made today. And yeah, just like, I think all the people should be having a better time. Not all this oppression, that these devils are doing to the people. That's what they're doing. They're screwing it up for everybody because they're devils. People should be enjoying themselves on the beach, enjoying planet Earth that got the Creator made for them, right? And so anyway, today is September the 23rd. Yesterday was the equinox. That means that everybody on planet Earth gets the same amount of daylight as the amount of nighttime, as far as what I read on online. So yesterday was the equinox, and well, it was just kind of weird. The day before that, it was really weird. So I said it must be a solstice or something. Well, let me read the comments. Uh, there's a bunch of strange people in here. These must be some kind of trolls. Oh, okay, people are talking about basketball. Basketball is one sport that I'm like, nothing. Probably because I don't understand the rules. But, I used to play around the world, but that is like one boring to me. I used to like the Super Balls. I guess you call them Super Ball. They're, when you go out and you play on the field when you're third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, when you go into the recreation center. Remember recreation centers? Recreation centers were cool. I don't know if other countries have them, but here in the United States we have recreation centers. And little did I know that there used to be summertime they would give us lunches at parks. It was like at a recreation center and they'd give us lunches. Little did I know. You know who was behind that? That was the Black Panther Party was creating all of that. All those free lunches were from the Black Panther Party. I never had a clue. They never told us. But a lot of people don't even know. I don't know if you'd have in your state, but here in California we have WIC, Women and Infant Children, right? They get these vouchers where they go buy a whole bunch of different food and stuff with WIC. It's a big thing around here. They don't know that was started by the Black Panther Party. But anyway, I remember they used to give us these lunches and they used to have little cups like that with salad in it. And it had like this it had like purple cabbage or some kind of kidney beans or whatever. And I'd never seen that stuff. I would throw it away all the time. That goes to show you how all that time on TV, they never educated the people on nutrition. I should have been, they could make a cartoon and say, these are great, right? So the kids will eat them. I never knew what it was, right? So anyway, everybody for leaving comments. I don't know what the heck you're talking about, but I see somebody sitting here from Chesapeake, so I'll go in and I'll check where Chesapeake is from. That's a lot of comments in here. So, as far as my idea, there's a lot to talk about there, and it's really, what anybody wants to do with it. You can, do little by little, or jump in both feet and redo the whole damn thing, or just put up another one, make a duplicate of it like it. But from what I'm seeing right now, it looks like it's the opportune time because something is going on right now. I don't know if you realize this or not, but um, well, just look at cotton. Okay, cotton is down 80%. So what do you think is going on with everything else? If somebody's trying to shut that down, just think of everything else they're trying to shut down. I think they're going to shut it down and then come back and start it back up after they buy it for pennies on the dollar. That's the only thing I could make of it. And you know they can just do it just like this. They have the whole thing shut down and then they've got everything set ready to relaunch it back up again. Probably bring the cotton back too. You know they can do it, piece of cake. But from what I'm seeing, it looks like this is the opportune time, and I think it's probably for a reason, because it's time. It's time for it, and you know, I guess this is the melting pot that they used to tell us about. It's not going to be the same, but who knows if it's going to be better? Who knows if it's going to be worse? But I can tell you this: it's not going to be the same. So all the people who are doing bad, right, with their little clique, they only see things one way. You know, now they're going to have to see things a different way because it's like a dysfunctional family. You can't dispute that this place is freaking dysfunctional. Our society is dysfunctional. It's like a dysfunctional family. Have you ever studied a dysfunctional family? Well, our society is freaking dysfunctional. And when you have a family, the family members keep each other in check, right? This family member's not getting along with this family member, and the other family member, you know, keeps them both in line or whatever. It like balances out. You have a difference of opinion. But when you get rid of one of the family members, it gets lopsided. You don't get a different perspective. You don't get a different point of view. It's basically the same thing that's going on with society. When you get rid of a certain ethnicity, racial ethnicity, it's like getting rid of a certain family member, because we're all related, right? It's the human family. And so now you're going to get a different perspective, right? And so it's like the family coming back together, the whole family. And I've got a theory about this. You know, I've told you that the family was separated in Babylon, right? That's when the human family got separated in Babylon. Well, I think artificial intelligence is going to bring the human family, humanity, back together, because they were separated through language, and AI is basically connecting them back together through translators, right? The text is already translated AI. You have an option whenever you're making your YouTube video now. They have can turn it on. Mine is turned on. It translates stuff automatically. So, so I think that's what it is. Who's doing all this crap is, you know, a bad guy. And so, you know, it's a crying shame that, you know, people have to walk around in shame because, you know, homelessness, it's like, you know, a failure, right? That can't be pleasant. For some, worse than others. You know, ultimately the creator is in charge, but I don't think it's right to just sit back and not do anything about the bad guy. And you know, the bad guy is saying, well, don't look at the man behind the curtain, right? And so they're saying, well, everything's good, right? Everything's good for who? For all these freaking greedy, selfish people who are living up high on the hog. There's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of them. Hundreds of thousands of people are living up high on the hog in nice houses. Start looking at houses. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of beautiful houses, and none of them give a damn about the people who are being oppressed, the weak people that these free creeps oppress and steal all their money, and they don't give a damn about it. So, you know, that's why that nobody says anything about it. They don't care that they silenced David Icke. They don't care that they silenced him in 30 different European countries. They don't care that they silenced him on the two biggest social media platforms. As long as they're nice and cozy in their carpet, wall-to-wall carpet houses with their air conditioning and heating, and got a refrigerator full of, you know, stuff, they could care less. This way, for a bunch of selfish people to let somebody beat up the into the freaking hot sun without any money to even buy something to drink or to buy a cheeseburger from McDonald's. That sounds okay to you? That's the way the creator wants it, and you can just kick back and not do nothing? I don't think so. Okay, so we'll talk to you later. Today is September the 23rd. Yesterday was the 22nd, was the equinox. I'm here in the Central Valley, California. This is the Central San Joaquin Valley over near Fresno, California. Fresno's about 70 miles that way, or 50 miles that way. And today's Tuesday.